Shalom, Yashrala. This your brother Dawud from GMS Tampa Bay 07, coming at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Waha Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, that's pushing this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions. Alright, we're going to get into this here quick lesson. I want to touch on this just a little bit. Dealing with basically the transition of this wartime that we're getting into right now. Okay, so I'm gonna start at Joel 3 and 9. I'm gonna read down to 14, and we're gonna go through and break this here down. All right, this is Joel chapter 3. Verse 9, it says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares and the swords, and your pruning hooks and the spears, let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause all the mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit and judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision." Okay? Just wanted to read that one time through. And let me see. I'm going to actually jump around here and I'm going to start at the end of verse 10. It says, "Let the weak say I am strong." Okay? So getting into the letting the weak say I am strong, first of all, we get this is, I'll just start at verse 9 again. It says, "Proclaim this among the Gentiles." Okay? And we are on the highways and the byways telling you about World War III, you know. And that's been going on for the last couple of years, you know. I remember when I first started learning about this here truth, you know, we was kind of on good terms with Russia, and everything was all good and this and that, you know. But that prophecy was always in the scriptures, you know. That never changed, you know. It was kind of hard to see certain things, but, you know, people didn't quite see that. But, you know, we was out on the highways and the byways, or, you know, the men of great millstone, you know, the truth was being pushed out there, you know, that, especially to the Gentiles, you know, World War III's coming, you're going to be annihilated by nuclear warfare, you know, breakdown of Ezekiel 38, so on and so forth, you know. But nevertheless, it says, "Proclaim this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up." Okay? So it says, you know, telling them, like, yo, we about to go into World War III, you know, all these nations about to come up to one another. It says, beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears, let the weak say I am strong. Okay? We're going to touch back on that in a minute. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause the mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh." Okay, so basically what's getting into this is World War III, you know. It says, "Assemble yourselves, all ye heathen." Okay, all ye heathen, what's the definition of a world war? Not necessarily saying every nation on the planet Earth is at war, but you got so many different nations going to war all at the same time. Pretty much like the whole world is at war, you know. You might have, you know, these two countries at war over here, and those two countries at war over there, and then this country and these four countries at war in this spot, you know. Everybody all at war at one point in time, you know. Or you might just have two big powers at war with each other and on different fronts, you know. So it says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen." So all ye heathen, you know, it's pointing. This is how we know this is going to be a world war. Okay, "Gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause the mighty ones to come down, and let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat." And now when you look that up, that's actually over there at, like, pretty much at the top of Israel, which is pretty much right across the border of Syria. Okay, and if you know if you got a damn television, if you know somebody with a television, okay, if you've ever seen a television a day in your life, you know that there's that conflict that's going on where you pretty much got all the nations of the world damn near over in Syria. But I forgot how many nations it was over there, but you got all these different nations fighting over there in Syria, okay? This is right there, right next door to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, you know. You got Israel over there fighting with Hezbollah and so on and so forth, you know. They right there pretty much at the Valley of Jehoshaphat. They all getting stirred up right there in that little area, you know. Israel got their conflicts with, like I said, who is it, Hezbollah. You got, who is that, Yemen and Saudi Arabia. You got, well, South Korea, or North Korea and America popping off. Not necessarily in that area, but then you know, you got all these little different conflicts going on right there in the area. And also the Syria deal, the Turkey deal, all these little things going on right in that little area. Everything's popping off right there in that little area, you know. It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Okay, basically it's saying it's time. It's time for this war, you know. You about to boil some damn eggs, or you about to boil something, you know, where you put the food into the pot when the shit start boiling. You know, now you see the shit boiling. All right, it's time to go ahead and put the shit in the water now. We ready to go, you know. Everything is prepared, you know. And you see all these military drills going on across the world. Everybody updating and upgrading their military systems. Russia coming out with new, I forgot what they call it, Su-35 planes. They got some new fighter jets coming out, new missiles coming out. The S-500 Prometheus system coming out. These new cruise missiles that fly super fast coming out. They got all kind of new shit coming out, you know. And North Korea is perfecting the intercontinental ballistic missile, you know, so on and so forth. You got all these countries trying to perfect all this new military equipment, okay? It says, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decisions. So again, you got all these, it says multitudes in the valley of decisions. Again, you got the Turkey problem going over there in Turkey, you know. You got Turkey versus the what is that, the YPG over there. They don't get along with the YPG, but America backing them. But, you know, America and Turkey so-called friends, and you got the scuffle going on over in Syria where, okay, well, Turkey's supposed to be our friend, but Turkey's also Russia's friend. We not Russia's friend. We don't want Bashar al-Assad. America don't want Bashar al-Assad up in power over there. Russia wants Bashar al-Assad in power over there. Turkey's just more or less like, well, we allies with America for a little bit, but then we also getting better deals from Russia and all of them. And plus, we got to live over here with everybody else, so we ain't trying to tear up everything over here next to our neighborhood. You know, fuck all y'all, what y'all got going on. You know, so you got these things, multitudes in the valley of decision. You know, then not alone, you got Syria versus America over there. Then you got all the proxies going on over there. Then Iran sending their people over there. You know, you got all these multitudes in the valley of decision. You know. Now let me go back up to the top here. It says, verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears, let the weak say I am strong. Okay, so the weak saying that I am strong, you see that's going on over there. All right, so let's go back, rewind time to World War II. You pretty much had everybody on the same type of playing field except for America. America wasn't a so-called superpower at that point in time, you know, not an official superpower, you know. But after they dropped that atomic bomb, that just launched them into position to be the sole superpower to Earth, you know. And so at that point in time, you know, this is how you had them sign these deals with Japan, where Japan can't build an offensive military, and all these other countries bow down to them, and so on and so forth, you know. Not only did they drop the bomb, but they got this alliance. You know, you got NATO and the EU. That's like, yo, that's your squad, you know. And you know how dangerous they all are, and the sanctions and stuff that they put on people, controlling the UN. You know, that's America being strong, you know, and everybody else is beneath them. But nowadays, you having people saying, look, fuck your sanctions. We can get shit from Russia now. We don't really care about all that. You can keep putting sanctions on us anyway. We'll just go buy from them. Y'all stop getting our money. We'll just slow down your economy. You know, Russia will start getting more money in their economy, which will give them more money to build for their military, which will be more of a threat to you. You know what I'm saying? And we don't really need your shit no more, you know? North Korea, you know, it's like, nah, fuck that. I don't really believe in propaganda like that, because I believe that they already had, I mean, they got satellites in orbit, you know? It's the same mechanism as to deliver the ICBM. So you can't get me to believe that they don't have that technology, okay? And they already had the warhead, so they just needed something to deliver it with. And if they could put a satellite into space to orbit the whole Earth, you know, then you got an ICBM. That's what it is, you know. But nevertheless, you have these people like in today's propaganda, North Korea testing these missiles out there. They're getting stronger and stronger. They're like, you know, him and Donald Trump they beefing over Twitter, talking about they buttons is bigger this and that, you know. Beforehand, America would be like, nah, bro, we got that button. All I got to do is go in that briefcase and I'll level all that shit, you know. Now you got these weak-ass countries like North Korea that ain't the size of the whole state of Florida, talking about, look, bro, I got a button too and I'll push my shit. I don't even give a fuck, you know. You got these other countries like, a lot of these little countries like saying basically like, yo, man, we don't really want America's back and we'll deal with this and that, you know. Prime example, the BRICS nations, you know. We're not necessarily talking about small in size always, you know, but sometimes small in stature, whereas like Venezuela, okay, Venezuela is pretty big, but they pretty much small. Yeah, they got oil over there, but they're not control their own resources. So basically, they pour off and they ain't really got no real bargaining chips over there because they don't own any of their own shit over there, you know. But nevertheless, when people are starting to come back to back them, like Russia's back in North Korea, Iran, and so on and so forth, you know, that's the weak saying that they strong now, you know. But it says, back in verse 10 again, it says, beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears, let the weak say I'm strong. So the plowshares and the pruning hooks represent more or less in the olden times agriculture devices and tools that help you farm on the fields, you know. So let's fast forward that into today. Basically, it's saying like, look, take your you know, like, so back in the days you would have like a shovel or a hoe or something like that to, you know, plow the fields with, you know. They're saying, look, take, you know, the stuff that you got from that, the metals and shit like that, and then shape them into swords and daggers and axes and shit like that you can fight with, you know. Take the same material and just refit it out, you know. So in today's terms, you know, if any of you brothers work in factories and shit like that, you know, you can just see around how easy it is to convert into this stuff, you know. So let's say you work in a factory making let's say you work in a factory making clothes. You work in a factory making polo shirts, you know. They got the whole factory set up and they could just put this out, you know, at a highly efficient rate. You know, it's very efficient and beneficial that they can go out here and create polo shirts at a reasonable price, so on and so forth, you know. They already got all the things worked out, all the kinks and everything worked out, you know. It's easy for them to sit there and convert that, you know, let's say it's a time of war. You ain't got a real big need for polo shirts in a time of war. We got to get serious now, you know. So what we can do is, now we got a big influx of soldiers coming in, you know. What we can do with that polo factory is we can convert out, instead of making polo shirts, we could be making what they call them shits, BDUs, battle dress uniforms, like the fatigue, the army fatigue and stuff like that. You already got the plant, you just change out the pattern and the, you know, whatever you're designing, you know. Or let's say you at a plant making water bottles, you know. Or you at a plant and you make any kind of bottle, you know. You making some kind of bottles, you know. It's easy enough to just switch out whatever mold you got to make, like, let's say you make Gatorade bottles, you know. Okay, we're going to swap that mold out. Now we're going to make those army canteens, you know. Or let's say you work at a factory that make metal baseball bats, you know. You could swap those molds out to make, you know, barrel stocks for your guns, you know. It's basically is what they're talking about. You know, these pruning hooks and stuff like that represents more or less your resources that you need just you know, your everyday getting around stuff to make your so-called economy go. You know, oh, we got any kind of factory you can think of in America, you know. Okay, so like you got the car factories where they make Fords and Chevys and shit like that, you know. Prime example. Yeah, we got this for our own luxury and stuff like that going around, but in wartime, okay, now we need more Humvees made. Now we need more MRAP vehicles made. Well, you already got Chevrolet that's got a production line to make this. All we have to do is swap out the molds that they making, and now we got a big production line and employees and people who already know how to make these know how to operate these machinery. Go from making Chevrolets or go from making Chevy pickup trucks to making goddamn Humvees, you know. And you didn't have to build a whole new facility, get whole new people to train all these people, and you just converted it over, you know. And the same with, you know, any kind of things. Like, look at your Walmarts, you know. You got all these Walmarts and these systems set up with their logistics to move things around real quick. In fact, this was the whole purpose of Walmart. Walmart was like a trial run, just like okay, with the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, that whole system, the reason you had the barcodes was the long time ago, they was just testing the tracking of all these items, okay? That's why everything has barcodes. You would think, damn, that's a lot of fucking barcodes. Well, they plan on tracking all the things that have barcodes and everything that don't have a barcode. So they trying to, make sure their systems work. And they've been, practicing for a long ass time. But nevertheless, Walmart's purpose was, I think it was a CIA front. Their plan and purpose was to be able to, the brother down in Dallas goes into this a lot, the logistics, Logistics is very important, the movement of things, how you move things around, Walmart is very efficient of stocking their shelves, and when things get sold out, they can get things restocked, Then they got so many different warehouses around the places, and what they call distribution hubs, and different Walmarts every damn where trucks always going in these locations that if one store run low on something, they can just throw something on this truck and it's already going that direction, they could drop it off. They don't have to send a whole other truck, a whole new route, waste that time, They got their logistics planned out. They got a whole trucking fleet that they own, all this. They got maps. They got all that already planned out. They got the truck drivers already prepared. You know what I'm saying? And then they got all these Walmarts everywhere. It's big ass warehouses, And they got the system in there to be able to dial up and call. Okay, so we done ran out of Old Spice deodorant because we know that the SKU number just rang up. We had 35 of them in stock, right? Or we had 3,000 of them in stock. Now we done just cashed out the last one with the last SKU number. They just told us we all out of stock now. All of a sudden there's a system in place to go ahead and reorder this. Now we got a truck being sent already. They're going to throw it already on the truck already coming this way. Now we got to restock the Old Spice deodorant. Okay? So you look at those systems now think about it in the military term. Turn your plowshares and pruning hooks and let me read. It says, beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. So you can see how easy it is to be able to convert. Just look at the Walmarts. Exactly, that's what they was all for. There's train tracks right beside damn near every Walmart. Okay, got these big ass warehouses. They got their own trucking fleet, to ship things around. That's good for moving military equipment around the whole U.S. So if the whole U.S. got invaded, America could just switch over to Walmart. They could easily take out all the shit that's in the Walmarts. And you got these big ass warehouses. You already got the trucks to be shipping in ammunition and supplies all around to every county, every city. You know what I'm saying? Most cities got 2 or 3 Walmarts, all the way around. So you can, it'd be easy for the American government to send their military out and to fully staff, have units all throughout the whole United States within, literally a matter of hours. Okay? Because you already got the train drivers that already know these routes. You don't have to train under these people. All you have to do is swap everything out. Okay? Everything is already built. You're just swapping it out. Okay? So this is what this is going into when you start digging into beating your plowshares and the swords and pruning hooks and the spears. You have all these warehouses and these businesses and stuff like that. As you see now with the economy, all these Sears, Walmart, JCPenney's and stuff like that, they so-called going out of business. The biggest thing with Walmart, they no longer building no more stores. They shutting down these Sam's Clubs. And one of the things they're saying about that is they're going into a pretty much like an Amazon type of deal where they're doing e-commerce, which is very smart for them in a business type of deal. You don't have the overhead, the stocking all this electricity and employees and stuff. People go online, they order it, you just ship it there. I mean, that's very beneficial for them, Why have to pay the electric bill when you don't need that shit no more, However, what are you going to do with all these Walmarts? Now you got a lot of real estate, a lot of prime good real estate that's going up on the market for real low prices because they're not going to go, all these Walmarts and Sam's Clubs and Sears and Kmart's and all this shit's going out of business. You're not going to have no more big ass department stores coming back to replace them. Okay? So again, these places are already strategically placed in certain locations, easy for shipments to come in and out. They already have their systems already set up to be able to order certain things when they run out of supplies and things like that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just like your restaurant, The people come in, they know when you about, you got a pizza place. They know about, okay, you got cheese normally lasts in your restaurant about 2 weeks. So I got to come back every 2 weeks to keep resupplying you to keep you in business, They already got that system already worked out. You don't have to sit there and worry about how long it's going to take. You call me when you run out of cheese, now there's a gap, You've been perfecting this here system, now it's time to just swap it on out, So that's like, us getting prepared in this here wartime. Well, not us, but these countries get prepared for it at this wartime, Doing all these massive military drills and things like that, testing these weapons out, all these things, And like I said about North Korea, you know, and it's going right to the plowshare, you know, they using, I think it's now the V4, the V5 rocket, which when you go back to the V1, V2 rocket that von Braun created back with Hitler and them, it's the same fucking rocket they used to go into outer space, okay? So what are they doing? You know, you see NASA and them so-called shutting down, okay? We ain't gonna use that rocket. We don't have time and the money to be using that rocket to go into outer space and be looking at shit. We need to use them rockets to deliver these warheads, you know? So you're just changing out different components in these infrastructures you already have going and just swapping them out, you know? You got all these trucks from Toys R Us carrying toys around all damn day long. Like, look, man, we're in World War III right now. We're getting invaded. We don't need to be shipping toys no more. But we already got the trucks, the truck drivers, the logistics. Let's go ahead and start moving ammunition around. Let's start moving this and that around, you know? Swapping all that out, okay? We was making money and everything was fine and dandy beforehand when we were selling goddamn Toys R Us toys. But now we're at a time of war. Now it's time to get serious. We got to turn this shit into, you know what I'm saying? Instead of us making whatever, you know, let's say Toys R Us is making board games, right? I know they don't make board games, but hypothetically, let's say they're producing board games. Monopoly people, they're producing Monopoly boards. They can stop producing those things and start making little cardboard cutouts for signage, you know? There's always signage, you know, you in a fucking airplane or some shit like that. They got a sign saying, look, don't stand too close to this goddamn air thrust or you're going to get sucked in it, you know? Somebody's got to produce that, you know? And a little small company that was producing it for the 10 airplanes they would make every year, you know, they can't keep up no more because now you need 10 airplanes every month. Now you need a bigger operation. Okay, well, we're going to stop making these board games. Y'all got all the material you need. You just need to scale it down and make a different print on there, you know? Or if you selling, you know, like when they had the Coca-Cola products or Pepsi products, they went to the fucking classic Pepsis, okay? They had everything they already needed. All they had to do was change the design that was inside the damn printer that was printing out the damn, the label that was going around the can, okay? All they had to do was change out the print that was on there. They had everything already set up. They just swapping it out. So this is what it's going into, talking about these pruning hooks and to the swords and this, what does it say into this, the pruning hooks and this, let me get back, 13. Yeah, Salakia. It says, put it, oh, that's not it. Oh, verse 10. Beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. Okay, this is basically going into swap out what you're doing into, and let's get into producing this military shit, you know? Y'all over here producing X, Y, and Z, but you could be producing military stuff with that, you know? You making little cast iron, little pieces of jewelry. Hey, bro, we need to produce bullets on a massive scale. We're going to need to take over your plant, and we're going to make this instead, you know? And the weak saying I'm strong, you got these other countries, North Korea, stuff like that, Iran and all these people like that, you know, they coming up now, you know? You've seen that happen over Russia over the last, what, 10, 15 years. They went from being super bankrupt to now they like, yo, hey, they about to start putting it on people, you know? But with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this here truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, that's pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions. Stay strong. Shalom.